Jamar.
What's going on YouTube?
Washington.
This is boy Marty 4 here once again. Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Jamar 4 here once again, and we are here to review episode, I believe this is 5 of Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Now, this was an excellent episode with a lot of situation and topics that are good for discussion. If this episode has some issues where I felt very torn, like usually for most issues, I'm one-sided, like I can clearly agree with one side and disagree with the other one. But this time, there's sometimes I'm like, okay, I really understand why each other is mad, and I'm not sure how, if these people were to come to me with this issue, where to begin on how to fix it. So let's get into the episode. So it starts off with Moniece and her mom. I guess they're walking up a mountain or what have you, but we meet Moniece's mom named Marla. Now, I've seen Marla as a type of mom before. I've seen that type of mom before where she's pressuring their child to be so great, which is good, but it seems as though Marla is so focused on, my child needs to do this, she needs to do that, she needs to do that, but she's not really listening to what her child says that she wants. Okay, it seems like they're having that kind of battle. Like, I feel like you can be so much more, but you're not what I want you to be. And she's saying, well, that's just not who I am. And, I want to make my own decisions. That's the kind of relationship that I'm getting thus far from these scenes. And she says that she wants to meet Rich Dollaz. Now, she already said the name throws me off just by the fact that that's not the name her parents gave. So I'm like, okay, so I would never introduce, if I was Moniece, I wouldn't introduce my man in his, I guess that's his stage name or nickname like that. I would give him his actual name, assuming she knows it. And just because you ain't gonna tell your mama that you dating somebody named Rich Dollaz, that just makes him look bad. Especially if you know the type of person your mama is, So I was just like, that was a dumb idea. So Nia and Soulja Boy are, walking, I guess, coming from the mall, I guess like April and Princess were doing the other day. They're walking out the mall. I guess she talks about how she came by the video shoot and they had this whole conversation, and he said that he's with Mia and all that other stuff, and he wants to meet up with her together to kind of see what it is. And I'm still just like, this whole time, I'm like, Mia, or what's her name? Is it Mia with an M or an N? I believe it's an N. I don't understand. I just don't get it. Because Nia's not unattractive. Yes, she has the little speech thing that we all shade and make fun of, okay. But all in all, she seems good-hearted, like a good-hearted person. She's not ugly. And she just seems like she's really sweet. So I'm like, why are you subjecting yourself to being treated the way that Soulja Boy treats you? Like, he says that that he does what he does and you cool with it. And I'm like, why? Y'all don't have a child together. I mean, I guess you have on and off history, but girl, it's just not, no. No, baby. And hopefully, I think, it's alluded later on. We'll go see if she decides to still be in this or not. So we get to the next scene with Amber and Miles. And I'm just like, okay, all right. Oh, excuse me. We're going to see how this goes, because Amber's been going on and on about how she wants the relationship to start. She wants to move forward. She wants to do this. She wants to do that. Like, she wants him to be a man and all this other stuff. And she's like, I hear, she's like, I see you and Milan, okay, together with all these hoes. Like, is the hoe outside? Like, is she outside? You can tell me if she's outside. I'll accept it if she's outside. I'm not going to get mad. Bitch, you lying. Well, you're always lying. Talking about she ain't gonna get mad. Girl, bye. You was ready to fight. As soon as he pointed in the bitch's direction, you was about to haul ass and try to fight the bitch in the parking lot. Don't play with me. But my Wowzers keeps on saying, he's like, I just need more time. I need you to, work with me, give me time to figure things out. And this is one of the first instances where I'm just like, okay, if we're dating, I guess especially if they have the history that they say they have, and this isn't something contrived by Mona Scott Young, then it would be kind of confusing and frustrating on Amber's side to be like, okay, as far as I know, we had a relationship before. You're in my life now. You're in my daughter's life now. What's up? Like, and he just keeps dragging it on and on, saying, I don't know what I'm doing. And I can imagine how that can get very frustrating. And honestly, I mean, I don't even think he's fucking her anymore. So, I mean, I guess it's love that's keeping her on. I'm like, girl, why don't you at least just experiment? Well, maybe not. Should I say experiment? At least date other people, or at least meet other people. Because if somebody keeps putting you on the back burner like that, then, I mean, there's nothing, especially since it's been years since they've been together. Why not just entertain other people since he's clearly not too much giving a fuck about whatever y'all supposed to have? You know what I'm saying? So I understand from her side. Then it's on Miles' side. Now y'all know that I'm a gay man myself, and there is nothing more that, those of us who are in the LGBT community know, trying to find the right time and right place and right setting and, the right lighting to tell somebody that we love that we're gay and we aren't sure how that relationship is going to be afterwards is very difficult. That is a real thing. Like, even though you and this person have love, forever and ever, and you guys, have very, very close, we in our minds feel like if we're vulnerable and we tell you this about ourselves, it's just gonna change the relationship forever in a negative way. That's just how we think. We think no matter what, we're always scared that it's gonna change in a negative way. So him, trying to request that more time and, just trying to figure things out, I know what that struggle is. He's trying to do it, but it's just, every time that you like right there at the door of saying it, you're just afraid to knock. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, I understand why she's frustrated, because she doesn't know it. She just thinks that she's just being strung along, but he's like, I want to tell you because I care about you, but I just don't have the tools to say it right now. So I'm like, oh, damn. So I know exactly what that's like. And so we're next interested. What is the word? My mind just went blank. Introduce. That's what I was trying to. My mind just left me for a second. So we're introduced to Shonda and Willie of Day 26. I probably know more Day 26 songs than I realized, because that was probably during the time when I was young and I didn't really pay too much attention to artists and song. I just kind of remember hearing a song and liking it. So, I mean, I still remember some of their stuff, but I just can't recall it off jump. But they arrived to LA from Chicago so that he can pursue a solo career outside of Day 26. Now, he's cute, but something just, how when you look at somebody and you can kind of tell sometimes their star power. I think he's very attractive, but as far as him just standing out on his own, not completely sure about that. I'm gonna have to get more into his material to see, but we just gonna have to see. But excuse me. Ooh. They talk about how they don't really have any money. They just kind of came out here on a prayer, and they're gonna live off of the money that they have for 6 months. And I'm thinking, okay, so where are y'all living that you can just get a it looks like they're in a house, and I don't know if you can. Can you do month to month rent on a house? I'm pretty sure you can. Damn, I don't know what that's gonna be in LA month to month for a house. Shit. And I know they have some apartments have like 7 to 13 month leases, so I guess that's what they're doing. But it's just like 6 months, and like, I mean, I don't know. Of course, we don't know how much money they have, but it just seemed like you should get something smaller than what you got for 6 months. I don't know. But that's her whole thing, is that they're scrounging for money. He's trying to make his whole career pop off the ground and whatnot. And there was a scene where he was like, they was kissing or whatever. They were discussing the whole money thing, and she's like, "You're about to break my neck." He's like, "I'm gonna break that ass later." I'm like, I was like her, like, break it? I don't know if I want that. So Moniece and hold on, I feel like I got an eyelash in my eye. Moniece and Rich Dollaz are in the process of moving in, right? So she's excited. She's happy. She's giddy. And he's kind of like, well, she been on my ass about this, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it. So I'm just going to, step out. If I'm supposed to be serious, I'm going to go ahead and try to take this step. And she decides to be like, yay, so we're gonna have dinner with my mom, yay! And he's like, excuse me? We gonna do what? With who? Bitch, no. And she was like, well, you bang me. I love you, so you're gonna be my mom. And I'm just like, Moniece, when you talk to him, it just makes me feel uncomfortable for him. I don't know why, but I just feel like she just says inappropriate things at inappropriate times. I don't even know if that's really the feeling that I have, but it just feels awkward when she be talking about how much she get fucked. Like, I don't know. Something about it fucks with my mind. I can't explain why. Maybe y'all know what I'm talking about. You can say it in the comments. But it's just weird when I don't know. It's crazy. And they start talking about, well, I know my mom can be a hard ass. And she's like, well, there was a time back when baby daddy and I were in court, and she didn't really support me while I was in court. She wasn't there. And, Little Fizz was saying that, her mom was probably one of the main reasons why they never worked out, because she probably was in the way or just being, some type of way the whole time during their relationship. And now that we've had a taste of it, I can understand. I can definitely understand how she can get in the way. So he's going to agree to the dinner. He's going to go, but it's against his better judgment. So next... Wait a minute. What's on the... What? Random hair. I don't know where that came from. But Nia, Nas, and Soulja Boy meet up. And Nas is going on and on about, Soulja Boy asked me to come meet him up, and I don't know why he's still, Nia's talking all this shit, but he's still fucking with me. Ooh, excuse me. And so when they arrive, of course, Nia's, trying to think like, oh, she's on some bullshit. But I'm just like, honestly, a girl, she ain't gonna go through all this effort if she really wasn't, if what she's saying was really not that true. And then she was like, well, bitch, I have receipts. Bitch, I have text messages. And I'm just like, dude, you're dumb. Why would you send these things that can show record? If you're gonna be, if you're gonna be a cheating ass motherfucker, at least be a good cheating ass motherfucker. Don't be lazy and reckless and shit. So she brings up the text messages, and he's like, well, I tried to holler at you or whatever, but maybe I don't need to be with both y'all. I got hoes all on my dick. I'm like, what your ashy lipped ass got no damn hoes? Get the fuck out of here. Don't nobody want no damn Soulja Boy. If they want you, they just want to fuck you for your money. You have to be working with something. Honestly, you have to have. I think I tweeted on Twitter a couple weeks episode back that Soulja Boy must have some sort of platinum penis, because he got hoes out here acting a fool for him on television for Soulja Boy. They must, because he ain't shit as far as a person, so he has to be dicking them down something serious, like. But even still, like, is dick worth your dignity? That should be a hashtag. Dick worth your dignity. Oh shit! Comment below and just write "dick for your dignity." So I can see who actually watched to this part of the review. But she brings up the text messages, and Nia's like, "Well, I mean, shit. The receipts are here, bitch." So when they fight or whatever, I couldn't really figure out what Nas said. Like, it was something along the lines of, you know, you need to thank me because he doesn't want to be with me, so I'm gonna let you have him, and you need to thank me. That's what I got from the dialogue. I wasn't really sure if that's what she was trying to say because it sounded weird to me, but that's what it sounded like. And she was like, "Well, I'm not gonna thank a hoe for anything," and that's when she punched her and threw her. Now, what I look like? It looked like Nia got her ass drugged, like Kenya got her ass drugged on that Real Housewife Atlanta reunion. I saw hair being pulled from the scalp, and well, not from, like she pulled her hair out, but it was getting yanked. She was getting a little whiplash going on there. I'm just saying. But after the fight, she's a little muffled. Sorry, I got my phone cut off. But anyway, she was trying to put on these rubies on her neck after she after she got pissed off, and she's just sitting there looking like, yeah, and he tried to be all cute and silly with her and tried to give her a kiss, and she was just sitting there staring off into space while he was making out with her mouth with his ashy ass lips. He's just sitting, and she just like, I'm like, and you just gonna let him put his mouth on you like that? Like, ugh, doesn't that scratch you, all that? Whatever. But it looked like she's over it. I think I want to say, and I hope that she's saying to herself at this point that this is the fucking last straw, that you ain't gonna deal with this nigga because he's clearly fucking your ex-best friend. She has proof of it. He's already disrespected you and lied to you in the past. Like, what's keeping you here? You're not the mother of his children. Why do you still deal with him? Do you need this check that bad to be on this show? Yeah. Anywho, next we get to Miles and Milan moving in. Okay, so, excuse me. I don't know. I guess it's late, y'all. They talk about Amber, and Miles gives not Miles, but Milan actually gives Miles ultimatum, basically like, you need to tell Amber and soon, and if not, I'm going to tell her. Now, I'm gonna say this later on to get into the episode. Like, y'all know I love me some Milan, but this episode, bitch, you were dead wrong. That was not cool. That was not cool. You cannot force someone to be out, especially if the person is showing, you know. Sorry again. Somebody decided to call me again mid-review. Hopefully they don't call, and hopefully they don't try to call back. I need to just start putting my phone on airplane mode when I do these shit, so they won't be interrupted. But anyways, like I was saying, I feel like that was kind of wrong what Milan did to try to give an ultimatum when, you know, you can see that Miles is trying. You saw last week that he was trying. He's just moving in baby steps, and he's like, you just want him to bring out the big gay flag and just wave it proudly. Like, it would be different if he, you know, was like in the first episode, like not even want to bring you out in daylight. You know what I'm saying? But now that you can actually see that he's making efforts to try, okay, I do care about you. I'm trying to do this the best way that I know how, baby steps at a time. I'm not saying I'm not going to do it. I'm just trying to do it in a way that's comfortable for me. And I felt like, you know, Milan, you know, I mean, maybe he didn't have to have the same kind of coming out experience that, you know, Miles has, but it seemed like he would be more understanding to me, but I don't know what that goes about. So, ooh, but he says he's gonna actually go to Amber's tonight and do it. I'm like, okay, let's do it. So we move on to the next scene with Ray J and his manager talking about Princess, and I was kind of confused by this scene. Once again, Call me in this review. I'm like, why is everybody deciding to call me now when I'm trying to record something? Damn. Shit. That just makes more editing that I have to do, and it makes the video come out later. And it's just like, ugh. But anyways, I was saying that I was confused by this Ray J and his manager scene because he said that Princess is being shady, but I'm thinking it seems to me, well, I guess because he invited Tiara, or she invited Tiara allegedly, well, as bait to this Vegas trip, and I guess he's seeing that as Princess being shady, and you can't trust her because she's communicating with Tiara. I mean, look at the pot calling the kettle black. Like, you had bitches at your house, like, and it's not like even she's with another dude. She's just with your ex. And you can't really fault her for, being with another woman. Now, mind you, she may be, steering you away from her, but that's basically from your own actions, okay? It's not just, her being shady. It's from you being a fuckboy. So I didn't understand why he was trying to say the Princess was being shady when she's just counteracting to what the fuck he was doing. So next we get to Shonda and April are working out, and their whole discussion is she was talking to April about, like, I'll do pretty much whatever I have to do for my kids, and that's the conversation that she was having. I know y'all like it when my computer be interrupting me, but it do be throwing me the fuck off. I don't even know if y'all just heard that. But she was talking with April and her husband pretty much all on the same topic. Is they're really short for money, and she used to dance, exotic dancing back in Chicago. But of course, when she had the kids and her husband didn't really. Are they married? Or are they just? Yeah, I'm pretty sure they said they're married. They said they've been married for like 10, 12 years or something like that. So he was like, of course he doesn't want, you don't want your wife and 2 kids to be exotic and, throwing that ass in a circle and a pole upside down. That's just not cute. So she's like, well, I mean, if you can't get your dream off the ground and we ain't got no money, and she's sitting here looking at all these bills that need to be paid, like, look, I'm a mother and I need to do what I have to do so that my kids can have what they need, okay? But he's like, no, you ain't finna be doing that shit. And April's kind of like, your kids are kind of older now. You don't really want, and you're in LA, you're in a new place. Nobody really knows you. You don't really want to establish that kind of reputation. But on the other end, she's like, well, we need the money. Like, I'm not going to be the type of mother that, if I could do something especially for my kids' needs, I'm going to do it. And I'm just like, damn, this is kind of a hard, decision to make, and a kind of like a really hard place to be in, because you want to be able to support your family. Like, it's not just you and your husband. It's you, your husband, and 2 children who, from when she made it seem like they're probably preteens or early teenage years, so they still need a lot. Of course, they need food and water, clothes, school supplies, you name it. Excuse me. And if y'all are having trouble, just keeping the lights on or keeping the water running, simple things like that. I mean, Willie, I don't know if you have the resources at this time to stop her. I can't. I mean, I know you don't want her out there. I know you don't want her doing it, but I mean, here's my thing about problem solving. I mean, you may not like the solution. You may not agree with the solution, but it's a solution, okay? Now, if you say, no, I don't like that solution, and you can provide me a better one, then cool. But don't just be, if I'm sitting here giving you a plan B, an idea, and you just shut it off with no, alternative. I mean, there's not much left for discussion. Like she said, I'm not going to sit here and let my children go without. I'll let you know that. And he's like, well, I'll be man enough to let you know that I need help. And she's like, you need help now, nigga. She looking at all these damn past bill to pay. They're already past due. And she's like, well, you only got 2 more days. Well, that gives me 2 more days to pay it. But do you have the money now? Like, are you going to really have more money in the next day or so? In the next 48 hours that you don't have now? Like, come on. So I was with her for that. I'm just like, I mean, I'm with her, but I'm like, I'm reluctantly with her. I'm like, I understand it's what you want to do as a mother, but damn, that sucks. Damn, that sucks. I'm like, is there any other career path you could take? There's nothing else that you can do? Nothing? But Miles goes to Amber's house, and she's sitting there getting ready, putting on makeup. I'm like, is she going somewhere? Was she expecting him? Like, are the cameras, the camera's slowly panning into her getting made? I'm like, Mona, stop. Stop this. Stop these cinematic ass shots. Like, and then he doesn't even get out the damn car. He thinks about it, considers it, has Jessie J playing in the background, and then leaves because he's like, this isn't the right time, this isn't the right place, this isn't the right way. Which again, like we stated before, I completely understand. But whew. So we're gonna talk about this part of the shit before I move on, so I can get it out the way. Brown Sugar, Larry J has a new song with Lil Wayne, and he's on the set of the music video. And I'm hearing it. Excuse me. And I just hear him saying brown sugar over again. I'm like, okay, I guess you're talking about caramel women. I mean, that's cool and ever, but who knew that Ray J had a single out? Like, for real. I mean, I guess it's his way of promoting it, but like I said, like I mentioned before in a previous review, all this music that be made on Love and Hip Hop just be music for the interlude between commercials, and that's it. And maybe YouTube. Maybe. So I'm like, okay, so he hired Princess. Well, he didn't hire Princess. He flew Princess out to Miami for the video shoot, and he wanted her to stay in the hotel. She was like, fuck that. I'm coming to the actual video set. So she's there, and he's like, oh, I can't concentrate. I'm supposed to be able to concentrate on making my music video, but I got to worry about, Princess and what she did and all the shady antics and whatnot. And she's like, well, or he comes to her like, what's the whole thing about y'all going to Vegas? I feel like you hang with my ex and this is all messed up or blah, blah, blah. Well, she was like, well, at least now I know that the trap worked. And so he's like, and she was feeling some way about him too, because it's like, okay, not only is she, a conniving bastard, but you're another conniving bastard because you're allowing your ex to just have free reign to call and text you and tell you whatever the fuck that she wants to tell you, and you don't have a problem with that. You don't see anything wrong with that. So she's like, well, I can't even fucking trust you too. And so it's like, so what's wrong? You gonna break up with me? You want to leave me? You don't want to be with me no more? Now, I know a lot of times when guys say that, they don't expect you to actually say, yes, I want to break up. They're trying to say that like, oh, I'm going to try to give you this ultimatum, but I know you don't really want to do it, or at least I don't think you really want to do it. And then when they actually do it, it's like their face just goes bloop. Because I don't think he was expecting Princess to say, yeah, I don't want to be with you no more. He thought he was going to, that she was going to be like, well, I still love you, I want to be with you, but I just want you to do. No, she was like, I don't want to be with you no more. And I'm like, girl, finally. I'm glad, bitch, I'm glad. So she threw the drink at him like they always do on these whack ass shows, but we still sitting here talking about it, ain't we? And she breaks up with him, so it is what that is. Then we get to this final scene with Milan and Miles. And again, Milan, I love you. I really do. But you was on some bullshit in this particular episode. Miles, after he went to Amber's house and didn't go in, he says that he stayed at his aunt's house, okay, for the night because he didn't want to come back home and disappoint Milan. I guess, to say that he didn't do what he said he was going to do. Now, mind you, Miles, that wasn't the smartest idea because I felt like it would have been better to just say, I couldn't do it tonight, I'll maybe try again another day and just come on home, especially since you said that's your first night in that apartment, So it just seemed like it would create additional drama that you didn't even need to create by saying you were at your aunt's house. But I mean, even though that's the truth, it just probably would have looked better and been, easier to accept by Milan. Because Milan came in and he was asking questions like, "Where were you all night?" All that stuff. And he's like, "I went to my aunt's house." He's like, "Why are you fucking lying? You didn't go to your aunt's house because I followed you." And I'm just like, Milan, I mean, okay, you followed him, but the thing is, he's like, you parked your car, you stopped, you parked your car, this, that, and the fourth. He's like, so did you just see me park the car and you just left after that? Like, you didn't even stay to see what happened after that? See, and then that's why he's like, you can't really, I mean, if you didn't stay to see to the end, you can't really speak on what happened because you weren't there. Okay? He's actually telling the truth. But you're too busy, throwing out not altercations, but throwing out these accusations that you ain't even receptive to the truth. He was doing that to protect you. However, even though he didn't do it in the best way he could have, but his intentions were still good. He was still telling the truth, and I still see Miles putting forth the effort that Milan is talking about, but it's just like it's not enough. It's just still not enough for Milan, at least at this point. He just wants him to just drop his whole life and wave the flag and fucking public bathrooms. That's what Milan wants. But it ain't working like that. Not everybody has the same path to, coming into their own skin, especially as a gay man like everybody else. Everybody does it at their own pace. Okay, I'm 25 and I'm still doing it. But that was the episode, you guys. I really enjoyed the episode. Make sure you comment about the different topics discussed and different, viewpoints and what is your side? What side do you stand on as far as the Milan and Miles case and the whole mom? Oh, you know what? I didn't even get to talk about girl. I almost stopped this review and didn't even talk about that whole scene, bitch. Woo, okay. See, I be skipping down to my notes and I almost missed it. Monique's and her mom in this dinner. Whoo, okay. All right. So I want to just go ahead and get into what actually happened so I can get into the discussion about it. She starts talking about, she did her research and she talked about his whole reputation with women and how you're 37 or what did she say? You're 42, 37, something like that. He's somewhere in that age range. He's like, she's like, well, I'm like 47, so I feel like we're peers, and she's just a girl, and it's almost like you preying on her. And when he's like, well, if we round in numbers, then she's 30 and I'm 40. I think he's 37 and she's 27, something like that. They're about 10 years apart. It's like, well, while we round in numbers, bitch, you can round that ass all the way up to 50. She's like, excuse me? I'm like, bitch, you don't sit here. And the first instance that I meet you, okay, you're not even trying to, this is what I meant about, her mom not really respecting what her child wants. She's not paying attention and listening. If this is somebody that your child is supposed to be interested in, this is somebody that your child says that they love, you can't just belittle that person in front of them and just be sitting there talking shit. Like, she was putting out all his business, and even when she brought up the whole child support thing, he's like, well, if she did her actual research, she would know that, I paid my child support enough so that my child could go to a university if it wanted to. Mind you, that was in the past, but that's not what's happening now. That's not a reflection of what's happening now. So you can't sit here and talk about, oh, well, we could either do this or we could do this. And I'm like, bitch, you don't even know me. You think you know me from what you read on the internet, and that's not fully true. Like, we should know in day and age, the internet is not the best resource for information about who people really are, okay? And I just thought that was fucked up. And Moniece, I mean, I know that's your mom and everything, I understand, but I feel like you should have checked her and be like, well, hold up, bitch. What you won't do is disrespect my man, okay? Not while I'm sitting right here, goddammit, okay? You don't even know this man from a hole in the ground, but you gonna sit here and throw all this shade? I think not. And we already ain't on good terms. So if I'm already on bad terms with my mama and she's up here disrespecting the man that I know that I'm supposed to love, oh, it would have been me and her like, hold up, bitch. No, you won't. Look, you supposed to be trying to get a relationship with me, and you fucking it up. You fucking it up. So tell me what you guys think about that situation. Do you think like it was wrong for the mom? Who was right in the whole argument? Is the mom right, or is Rich Dollaz right for feeling the way that he feels? I'm feeling more on Rich Dollaz on this one. It's like, bitch, you don't even know me, and while you sitting here trying to make accusations and piece together who I am, fuck you. But anyway, even though this video is long and is full of interruptions, I still had a fun time making it. Make sure you guys comment about the discussion topics we discussed, and I'll see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Like, share, subscribe.
Washington, Washington.